I went in. Thank you. Just what they do at the school.
What day was this?
Wave to the camera. Say hello.
Hello. Konnichiwa. Annyeonghaseyo.
Harold's got
I had to make hard choice.
The restaurant had closed until we convinced them that the restaurant had closed, that many of you have already run across each other and you mixed during the week. We have traditionally, we've had this luncheon or dinner early on in the week. But we've always missed some very, very keen folk in this event.
But these are, as Harold was saying, these are the people that obviously work right in the trade, working with the competitors, and the ones that really make things happen. And then people like me stand up here and take credit for it all, but that's called politics. I would like to ask any of you competitors, I'm sure all of you realize once you got here that things are a lot different than you anticipated. And those of you that get an opportunity to work with our next team, share some of that with them. Because it's going to be a surprise for them too. So you can help our next team by just sharing the information that you've learned here. And it's very simple.
Every time we participate, the competition, the competitors are bigger, better, stronger than ever. And I think this is an effort that we really have to build in the United States. You are probably not aware, you are probably very aware that the U.S. Department of Education is very interested in the event, but has not been fully supporting it in terms of funding things.
Yeah, no money.
No money. Well, this is a new day for vocational technical education in the United States. We're working very hard to build new recognition, build new strength, and really contribute much more strongly than we have in the past to our competitors, our ability to compete, our wonderful experts. And I want to thank you all for being here, and I hope to see you and be talking to you all between now and Taiwan. Have a nice time.
No. But you ain't getting it out of me. So just let me try. Okay? Come here. Yeah, I know.
Before we bring up the students, I would also like to thank everybody. I'd like to thank Vika for giving Betsy and myself the chance to serve as team leaders, the parents, the employers, the Technical Foundation, the teachers that are here, and most of all, I'd like to thank the students. I'm not students. I'm in my Vika frame of mind. The competitors. This has been really the culmination of my career in terms of working with Vika for 15 years. And Rick Sullivan told me, you're not going to be, there's no way you can prepare for this experience until you go through it. And it has been just fabulous. For 15 years I've been involved in Vika, and my wife Betsy's been very supportive, but never really involved. And this year, for the first time, she put on the blazer and really rolled up her sleeves and did a fabulous job as team leader. So I'd like to publicly congratulate her. She's now full-time. I'd also like to say a couple of things about some of the character that was shown by our team. I don't want to take a lot of time talking about the characters on the team, but they know who they are. But the character, I think, that was exhibited by some of our kids is typical of all of their strengths. For example, Robert, where's Robert? Robert probably worked as hard as anybody in this competition, and he really impressed me with his dedication. He had judges that were continuously going in and looking at his work to the point where he almost threw up his hands. He stuck in there, he finished, and it was just amazing to see how badly this guy fought for his country and for his profession. Ted Ted. Ted worked equally hard to the point where he was wearing the skin off of his hands, handling these bricks. He was taped up for competition the way the Chicago Bears tape up the linemen. I mean, he'd go in there and, again, 4 days under this kind of pressure, he was wearing his fingers to the bone. Chris Hennessy, where is Chris? He had the unique position of being on the corner spot in the center of the entire expo hall there. I think everybody that came in stopped and watched what he was doing. And yet he never flinched, he never looked around. The focus that he maintained through this was incredible. And he's 17, which is a little scary. Rick Nutting, where's Rick? He had to teach his judges how to use his measuring system because it was better than the system that they were using. He had to give up time, and that may have cost him, but this is what he persevered. Nobody quit, nobody gave up, and nobody really lost any spirit. I'd like to also recognize David Qualley. Would you wave? And his mother, Barbara. They are adopted VICA members. They're from Skills Canada, and they joined our committee, or our team. And David was in the competition with Rick, with Chris. Thank you. See, Betsy's right behind me all the time. And finally, 2 students I'd like to recognize. I brought a couple of gifts from New Jersey. I'm from Somerset County Votech. And again, I didn't bring it up for everybody, but there were a couple of students here that really showed character. Where's Wendy? I brought for Wendy a shirt from Somerset County, from New Jersey, VICA, Skill Olympics. And the reason I'd like to give this to Wendy is because her expert did not come at the last minute. She was handicapped with information that she didn't receive. She had a rocky second day, but then she hung in there and finished strong. So I'd like to give her this as a token of that appreciation. Steve also had a slight accident. He bumped his head. Later on, this is going to be a joke. We're all going to be in it together. We're going to tell him that he hit his head and this is all a dream. But he had a tough competition, and the other night he was looking out the window while other teams were throwing water and stuff out the top of the Casa Hotel, and he turned around and he met the edge of the window, so he needed some medical care, and yet he was undaunted and positive attitude and great spirit, so I'd like to give him a New Jersey VICA.
Also, special thanks to Jim Allen, whose expertise we could not have done without.
Yeah, Jim.
Mr. Butterfly.
So, we have asked Chris Tham and Wendy to speak on behalf of the team to all of you. So I'll call them up now.
Parents, technical experts, instructors, competitors, and business staff. Pleasure to speak with you today on behalf of our team.
The opportunity to represent the United States by competing in the International Youth Skills Olympics has been very exciting and especially rewarding.
These are memories we will cherish forever. Like having my alarm clock taped to the ceiling.
At the incredible variety of ham and cheese vendors now.
Being the only female on an all-male team.
And of course, the delightful opportunity to meet people from other nations.
We want to thank our parents, teachers, and other friends and relatives from home who have supported us and helped prepare us for the competition.
Special thanks goes to the Technical Foundation of America and its representative Paul, and National VICA and its board of directors for their outstanding efforts in support of our team.
We represent the entire team, and we say that none of this could have been possible without the generous contributions of time, energy,
talk the introduction of IYSO trials conducted at professional trade shows and conferences.